All started with the great diaspora, journey across the seas where we landed here right after. Understand my culture, many of you never heard, but here I stand to tell you about them good old gullah churn. My people in Charleston where it's warm and fresh with the sea breeze and the sweet grass rest. Grandmas on porches giving us their best while mama's in the kitchen stirring up the rest, y'all. I'm talking about them old Geechee boys. I'm talking about my Geechee boys. I'm talking about my old gullah boys. I'm talking about them Geechee gals too. They always know what to do.
Right?
I was like, oh, my bad. I was getting in there. I was in that thing, all that and more.
That's Geechee Boy by your favorite gullah girl, Kyndra Joy. You can't help but dance. We literally should just come up with, oh, you already have a dance for this, don't you?
Yeah, Andrea did that dance.
That's right.
And we did it at WBOK.
Shout out to Andrea Peoples.
Shout out. Yes, definitely.
They got Kyndra doing the dance. We're going to have to bring that dance to the show.
Yeah, we will. We are, we've been blessed with some amazing people, sis.
We have.
We have been blessed with some amazing people, and we met a lot of people and did a lot of amazing things over there at BOK.
Yes.
And today is just like no other day because we met our first guest at WBOK. I don't know if you remember. You remember that?
I remember that.
We met our first guest, and she came in with her funny talking self, sounding just like she's from New Orleans.
Just funny talking.
With an amazing concept of what was that? The beer tours.
The beer tours. Big Easy Beer Tours.
Big Easy, the first African American beer tour, in
New Orleans.
In New Orleans, the actual tour, unlike our Caucasian counterparts, they have multiple, but she came through as the first, and we are very excited. So before we get into that, welcome to all that and more.
Yeah. All that and mo. I just want to know, are you all that? Am I mo? Am I all that and you mo?
We both all that and mo.
We both all that and mo.
Yeah, we ain't no separating. And the people who are listening, who have logged in, they're all that and mo too. So we just collectively, just all that and mo.
Welcome all that and mo. And we got your girl, your favorite girl, Kyndra Joy, along with Dr. Stephanie Burns, MC Burns. I go by so many names.
The intuitive consultant, huh?
The intuitive consultant. I am the journey.
You are the journey. Unc just joined us. Unc Cliff is in the building. What's up, Unc?
We love you.
We give thanks. Yes, and so we welcome you to all that and more. We have two amazing guests for you today. I'm going to be talking about two amazing. We got Choto family in the building.
Olivia, you can't say the whole name, so you just say Olivia.
Sisters in the building.
Welcome, sister.
Yeah, welcome, sis. And so we are going to invite the one and only. We call her Choto.
I guess we should give people her is it the government name first, and then we'll.
I don't know the government name.
It's Elizabeth Choto. It's the name she tell folks. Elizabeth Choto is an educator. She was the founder of Big Easy Beer Tours that has turned into, during the pandemic, she started Graze Dat Boarding Company, which makes charcuterie boards.
I'm so glad you said that word, sis. I'm so glad you said that word. Because I would have been like, to who?
Charcuterie, not charcuterie, but charcuterie.
That's right.
Charcuterie. And today is her 1-year anniversary when she started this business. So we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to welcome to the virtual stage our friend.
Yeah, our sister.
Elizabeth Choto.
Choto's in the building. Go Choto's in the building.
And the crowd goes wild.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
For sure.
It's good to see you both.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Choto.
So much to talk about.
Yeah.
You came on the radio station, like Kyndra said, doing the Big Easy beer tours. Did I lose Kyndra? We're just going to keep rolling. You came on the radio station doing the Big Easy beer tours, and now you're Graze Dat, doing Graze Dat Charcuterie. So let's talk about how in the world did you go from doing beer tours to charcuterie boards? And for those who don't know what a charcuterie board is, it is an adult lunchable. That's how I describe it. But Liz, you may have other ways of describing it. So
blueberry goat cheese.
Ooh, she said it. She said blueberry goat cheese. And yes, adult lunchable.
Blueberry goat cheese.
Yeah. Yeah, Stephanie, to answer your question, yes, this has been my little pandemic baby. COVID made me pivot. I really was enjoying the brewery tours and just kind of, I don't know, drinking beer for a living. It's not a bad idea when you ask me, but I mean, the pandemic came around and the universe said, no, you had enough of that. Let's do something else. And I think Kyndra actually suggested it, and she was like, you should take this online somehow. You should do a virtual tour. And I was like, I don't see how. How do I find the same beer in the same markets for people to be able to buy? Like, it's difficult to ship beer. So how do I do that? And then, miracles do happen. Brewery in San Antonio, Texas started brewing a beer called Black is Beautiful. Mm-hmm. And they did this whole initiative where they encouraged breweries to, take their recipe and add their own things to it, and then kind of connect with organizations, causes in their own local hemisphere to support in light of what was happening with the Black Lives Matter movement last year. So that happened, and it became something that was global. Like, there were over 1,200 different breweries making versions of this beer. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, let's get people to use this beer as a vehicle. And we did a couple of tastings here, and people were jumping in. We had a couple of people, once from Tennessee, and Olivia in Texas, and people in California, person in London. The first tasting was wild because
it was beautiful.
Yep. We had so much fun.
Yeah, we did. No one was expecting, though, to taste what a stout tasted like.
Right.
So I still have those reactions on people's faces, but it went well, and we did another one, and then I teamed up with a chocolatier here, and then just started bringing in people. And one of those times, it was just like, hey, we need food. And the charcuterie board that I made for myself, and don't you know it, the next tasting, nobody cared about the beer. Wanted to know about the food. And that's how it all came about.
Wow.
Yeah.
What can I say? And welcome from New York. I'm not going to try to say your name, but welcome.
Vimbo.
Ruby.
Ruby.
Yep.
Okay. Ruby. We can say Ruby. A year ago, I was on my way. I was in the process of moving. You called me, Liz, and you said that you had made this charcuterie board and that you made your own vegan cheese using herbs from your garden. Mm-hmm. And would I come and try it? And both me and Kyndra. And I get there and I get the box and I open the box and I was like, oh, this is pretty. And I see the cheese.
Woo,
yes. And I just started. Mine didn't have any meat in, but I just started eating. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, seriously wolfed it down. And then I think, Kyndra, you came over and got yours later. And you started that day. You said, today's the day I'm going to start Graze Dat.
Listen, we've been eating those boards. I'm just so glad to be your friend, your taste tester, your poison taken away from the bear side to the Graze Dat side. It's just been a privilege.
Yes.
As you can see in my cheeks, it has been a privilege. But we got some people, before we go any further, sending you some love from everywhere. We got a sister named Shani who says she cares about the bear. She put down there at the Black Bear Experience. And then we also got Ruby talk about he's tech challenged and he's seeing us. So we give thanks to each of y'all joining us in support of my friend. My sis Choto is in the building. Y'all heard me, Ruby. We appreciate you. But like Stephanie said, like you started this and it was like you did it out of thought too, but you also did it out of prayers. Because I think a lot of people don't follow the passion that's within inside. And everybody last year kind of got stuck, right? In this pandemic, like, oh my God, what am I going to do? For those of us who were doing things that incorporated a lot of people. And so you kind of just went in, like not inside the house, but inside internally, right? Mm-hmm. And you came up with this amazing thing that you knew all about, like just from a kid growing in your garden and farming. And so I know we were kind of just about to talk about that year, but just talk about what that was like for you to go inward in the midst of the pandemic, to come up with this amazing, because even when you do your charcuterie board thing, you even incorporate beer. Like right now, we're going to have to talk about a little bit of wine, but it's just, how was that for you? How did that come about for you?
It was tough. And I honestly can't take credit for all of it, because I've had so many supporters, so many people who've just been like, hey, try this. Hey, think about maybe going in this direction. So just people like throwing ideas at me because they could see, I think, the little wheels in my head spinning with the pandemic, just bringing everything to a halt. And I also want to give props to my sister, Winery, because she actually had someone deliver a charcuterie board to her in Austin. And when we did one of those brewery tastings in Austin, she showed me the picture and she was like, you could do this. And I'm looking at it like, here she goes again with one of her ideas.
Shout out to Olivia.
And that next week when I made that board, it was like, okay. And then somebody else asked me to make them a board. And I was like, oh, okay. I can see where this can go. All right. So it was hard. It was hard, like pivoting, because, I had been so bought into the idea of my brewery tour. I got kind of stuck there for a minute. And there are just so many things that come into play with that. But thinking about, making that leap now, a lot of my life has been food. We grew up growing our own food. We grew up having to go and see what it feels like and looks like. And sometimes it's like to be that person out in the field, growing stuff and tending it and harvesting it and taking it from one form into another. So I think one thing that has made it easier for me to make this transition has been the idea of food preservation and how we take food in one form and turn it into another. So when you're thinking about taking malt and turning it into beer or gin or whatever else people use malt for, just thinking about how you do that, or taking something like milk and turning it into cheese. Every single culture has that. And so just kind of drawing from those things and starting to think about, well, yeah, okay, so there are all these backstories about beer. What about food? Backstories about food. There have to be different techniques and forms of all of these things that we see in the food world that kind of help us to keep those things alive and going. So I in my mind, it's always been that kind of making connections. Spider webbing is what I call it in my head, because I'm always trying to connect to my childhood and those memories that I had growing up. So yeah, that was a long answer to that. I don't know if I answered.
No, that was a great answer.
That was
I'm
beautiful.
curious, like, what's the origin of charcuterie board? Because some of us, it's a new concept, right? Yeah, we've seen meat and cheese platters and Lunchables, but the charcuterie, really, there is this art to it.
Beautiful.
So what's the origin of charcuterie board?
So charcuterie itself is basically a cured meat, right? And we're usually talking about pork products, sometimes duck. There's certain products out there that qualify in like strict terms as being charcuterie. And as I was doing all that spider webbing in my head, I started thinking too about, so this word charcuterie is a French word, so we associate it with the French culture, but I grew up seeing people preserving meat and other things in different ways at home too. So those things count too as charcuterie, right? Why not put those things on boards? And it's just kind of like, I feel like we have this Eurocentric understanding of what charcuterie is when it can be stuff from just about anywhere. As long as it's cured meat, it can count as charcuterie.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Your sister just said, I knew you would make it your own, sis, with a heart. So she's extremely proud of you. The other Choto, all the way down that way in Texas, is really proud of you for doing it. Yeah, but what were you get ready to say, sis? Because I got another question too, me.
I was just curious, so I thank you for the explanation, because that helps me to understand, okay, what makes it charcuterie is the cured meat. But you have really taken it and done these you went from boards to jars to letters and numbers and
the photo shoots.
How do you photo shoots and
with the little baby with the number 1 and the baby with number 2 months and the 3. I mean, it's the cutest thing ever, but you went to, it's an art.
Right. What inspired you? What I love about you is just, you only been in business a year, and yet you keep coming up with new ideas, which is needed in business a lot, right? That people don't get bored or stale or just say, oh, I've had that now. Oh, but have you thought about it this way? So what inspires you? Where do you get that motivation from?
What is your motivation?
Oh. I need to live.
I know that's right.
Pay my bills.
Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone? Okay.
But so the interesting thing for me about this charcuterie or grazing board business is it's such a community of people who come together and just kind of lean on each other. So I made friends in this world and in places where I was like, wait, this person is in the Channel Islands? How did you find me? She was like, well, I was just looking on Instagram. So we're constantly meeting new people and just kind of seeing what other people are doing and bouncing ideas off of each other. There's a lady I think she's in Arkansas, not Little Rock, but she's actually the inventor of charcuterie, right? And when I was first starting, she linked up with me and she was like, hey, you should try this. And then I have a friend in LA who was like, hey, you should try this. And another friend in San Antonio who was like, hey, you should try this. Like, okay, I get the message. It's a sign. I'm going to try this.
Right.
I started trying the charcuterie. And it just, these are just things that develop. Other things have just been all right, so I've got a lot of vegan friends, Stephanie being one of them, who are like, well, so I can't eat meat. Can you make my board pretty? I want a flower. I'm like, I can make you a cucumber flower. And then a few weeks ago, somebody was like, I don't like cucumbers, but I'm a vegan. What do I do? So I started playing with golden beets because red beets stained my hands and I wasn't walking around looking like I had robbed a bank or something. I don't want to do that. Golden beets seemed like a reasonable substitute. And I just made a flower using golden beets. And all of a sudden, what do you know? Other people are doing the same thing. So it's just kind of watching other people riffing off each other and, you know, just growing together as a community, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody just said the beats are gorgeous.
Thank you, Miss Melody.
Thank you, Melody. Thank you. The beats are gorgeous. And so, so if you have not had an opportunity to like, I know we have a lot of people who are followers of you, right? And a lot of people who are not followers of you trying to figure out what this Choto girl is talking about. But tell us about, because like Stephanie says, you have to be continually creative to keep your business alive. So we all got to eat. Right. Tell us about how Graze and Sip came about, because you have a Graze and Sip, and you also have a Graze and Plant.
Yeah.
And so that, I mean, plant can go a couple of ways, and just kind of talk about, talk about that a little bit, because you went past charcuterie, right? You went outside we're outside the box now of just food.
Right. So, you know, and looking forward now, it's becoming more of an educational venture for me. So great, Big Easy Beer Tours for me. Yes, it was a beer tasting tour, but I was much more interested in the educational aspect of beer. So, you know, just kind of getting people to see that the tall white dude with the flannel shirt and red beard is not really who started brewing beer. It was Black women in sub-Saharan Africa. We're the original brewers of beer, and a lot of people don't know that.
Yes.
Talking about, you know, the of quote unquote witchcraft and its connection to beer, like just kind of making those connections for people, because a lot of people don't see how all of these things tie in together. So the Graze and Sip came about from connecting with Crazy Plant Bay, and she was like, "Hey, we need to like team up and do something."
Yeah.
I'm watching her kind of like, she's not just like, "Hey, plant this plant like this." She's telling people, this is why you do this with this plant. Or wouldn't it be cool to do that with like charcuterie? Like, you don't just chop up random meats and then throw them on a board and it's like, ooh, we're done. There's reasoning behind everything that's being done there. And honestly, for anybody who's trying to make a charcuterie board, you know, it's not like, it's not a science, but there's also a little bit of like education that has to come into play as far as ingredients go and taste, and textures
and art
and all of that thing. Just bringing all of that together in an experience kind of led to this Graze and Sip, and having people build their own charcuterie board. And now moving forward into the Sip part, which is, you know, coming up, you're going to have Kim on. So we're doing the Graze and Sips at her winery. And
really, with the whole bottle?
Yeah, well, somewhat.
The whole bottle.
I got my bottle too. Don't make me get up and go get mine.
I just wanted to show the folks, you know, when she come on, that, you know, what the bottle look like. But keep going.
This is her bottle right now.
Oh my God, that's what we're doing. I ain't get the memo to get my glass. Like, what's happening?
Well, I don't have a glass. Mine is unopened.
But she's also an educator, and her role is also wine education. So it's not just about, hey, let's just eat all this food, or let's just drink all this wine and let's just get full and drunk and happy. That's not the goal of most of this. For me, on a personal note, it's education, right? So it's sharing information about foods that maybe people aren't familiar with, haven't seen before, haven't tried before. And that was a hard lesson for me, because I want to say I'm an adventurous eater. And a few months ago, I came across some pink pineapple and just
listen.
Well, I was like,
pink pineapple would change your life,
entire existence.
I thought it was great, but I wake up one day and there's this email about how I'm trying to poison people with this hybrid fruit and this poison. And like, what? Wait a minute. So I really feel very strongly that the education piece with things like food and anything else new that you introduce in a space is really, really important, because unless you introduce it and explain what it is, a lot of people tend to shy away and not want to try it. So, yeah, long answer for.
Great
Don't
answer.
apologize for your long answer.
Yeah, that was a great answer. Your sister said back to your roots. You're an educator. So before you even did beer tours, you were like an educator. Like, and I think people don't know that. But one of the things that I love about your great, like you always give fun facts, bro. Like when you told us at one Graze and Sip that the wasp goes inside the fig, right, to pollinate. Like my life was blown. I was like, what you mean?
What?
The wasp go inside? Like I was like, I don't know if I want no more fig, right? But the fact that you like, and you have a passion with it, like you guys have to really try one. And I hope you do a virtual one at some point, because the passion that's in your work and your craft, how you really take time with people. I'm a little ignorant. So I just eat the food. I can't get the things, the meat, the turn. I can't do all that, but I can put some blueberry goat cheese on a piece of cracker and make my life great. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
And that's the thing, right? It can taste good and you can try to do it, or you can just eat it.
And you get educated and while you're doing it. And it's just an amazing, you have carrots that are like white. And then you have like pink pineapple. And then you come with like other fruit with different colors. And I'm just like, okay, Liz, I trust you. I'm gonna just try it. And it's great. And it's sweet. And it's natural. And it's like amazing.
What's some of the craziest, or not craziest, but the most, what would you say is like some of the top 3 exotic things you've put on your board that maybe people in this particular region just was not as familiar with?
Oh wow, I'd have to go in backwards order. So number 3 for me would be gooseberries.
Gooseberries.
Everybody asks about gooseberries, and then they look at me after I describe them, and I'm like, just try it. And they're like, ooh, where can I find those? And I've had to resort to saying I have to special order them from Mississippi, because if I do tell people where I get them, they go buy them all and then I don't have them. So gooseberries have been something that people in New Orleans have really gravitated towards. The second one would be pink pineapple. I mean, if you had a chance to try that pineapple, that's all.
Yes.
It's amazing.
It really is. And like I was explaining to y'all before, I think I put the post up on Instagram that it's the thing that's special about this pineapple is your mouth doesn't get sore because it doesn't contain bromelain. Like yellow pineapple has that. So that's what tenderizes meat, which is what makes pineapple such a great complement for like making marinated meat of any kind. But the bromelain isn't in that pineapple, in the pink pineapple. So you can eat as much of it and you're good.
And your tongue won't be on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think
because I love me some pineapples, and I would just eat so much that all of this is just,
toe up. Yeah.
And I think the most interesting thing, I haven't put it on boards yet, but I have an order coming. I'm just waiting for it to get here, are finger limes. And I'm super excited to get them. So it's a lime that literally looks like your finger.
Yeah.
But when you cut it open and you squeeze it, kind of like you would squeeze, you squeeze it gently. Don't squeeze it like you do like a key lime or like other limes. But when you squeeze it gently, it like has these little pearls that look like caviar come out of it. And it's just like lemon, like lime juice encapsulated in those little pearls. And it's so good. I mean,
let me just go ahead and get my order now then.
I know that's right.
With the finger and limes. Hey, Marcia. Welcome, Marcia.
Marcia's in the building. What's up, Marcia? Okay, so hold on. Oh, Nubia is in the building. What's up? So hold on. So before we get to when we getting back to these limes, when they coming in so we could taste test them for you?
Right. Listen, I was supposed to have them last week. I was very sad when this happened because I was supposed to have them last week. I drove all the way to a secret place in Mississippi that I go to go get my stuff. I get there and then they're like, wait, we were supposed to have limes for you. We don't have them. We gave away the whole box. I'm like, you gave my box of limes.
No.
And they started calling everyone who got limes that day and they couldn't find them. And
oh no.
On Saturday, I called them back and they said, yeah, we've got 7 bags. And I'm like, okay, send me some on Monday. They get here and the guy's like, I don't have any finger limes. Well, it turns out that the missing limes from that Saturday was still in inventory.
Oh, wow.
Didn't get any. But it's okay because there's some coming. So I'm feeling very optimistic that we will have some by the time that the next grazing sip happens.
Look, just call me. I'm not gonna be able to make that next grazing sip, but I just need you to call me.
Right. Call me. And Wayne said that we can have your virtual workshop on the show.
Yeah, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Hey, Kimmy just joined on. Appreciate you. But look, so yes, we can definitely do that on this. I think it'll be an amazing thing to let people see it like firsthand on the show. But one of the cool things that I love about what you do, because we've been talking about you being an educator. She said, I need the link. We're going to get it to you, baby. We're going to make sure you get that link when we do the show, okay?
Right.
We're going to get a date and put it out there. But you also do, you take charcuterie boards to small groups. So you show, like, she came to one of my workshops with the kids that I do, brought all the supplies, and these are opportunity youth that don't even know about meat food. They know about Burger King, McDonald's, Rally's, Cane's. That's what they know about. Right. And so she came in, and I had some blueberry goat cheese. Bless the Lord. Amen. And she came in super prepared and super patient with you do have an educator's heart. It's like an educated spirit, because everyone's bored except for mine. Y'all pray for me. I'm like the bad kid in the class, but everyone's bored. They were so proud of their board. They were able to get it in. They twisted the meat right. It was an amazing experience. So I encourage you, if oh, sis, she needs the link.
I just tell her I just sent it to her.
Oh.
That's what I was doing. I'm sorry.
She was just like, no, girl, good night. And it's a wrap. Good night. So,
that's why it's all that and more. I mean, we just have more everything. More
right.
But like, so that experience is one of, I feel like that's one of the true joys for me of like being an educator, is being able to, and that I think that'll always be a part of everything I do. I love working with kids. That was one of the kids, like, I think my sister was like, are you okay? I used to work with 9th graders and I loved it. That was the only grade I wanted to teach, and everybody else was like, what's the matter with you? But
crazy.
Energy and curiosity and just, there's just something about working with kids that age that for me, I personally love. So that for me is just like, I would do that in a heartbeat in a school. And I do that a lot as kind of, I also want to begin doing a little bit more outreach for myself in terms of food education. So on, doing more in terms of educating myself, but also reaching out to organizations and schools and offering some of these opportunities. Because I feel like it's important too for kids to know and understand not just about food, but how to work with food, where food comes from, how it can become something else. Just, using the tools that we have right here today. So you definitely changed their little lives that day, though, because they never thought that they can create something like that, and so it was an amazing. So like bachelorette parties, girls' night out, those type things, those are amazing.
Picnics, romantic dates,
book
Valentine's. Anniversary, birthdays,
Yeah.
weddings.
Do we have any more pictures, Wayne, of some of her boards? Because it's just an amazing, the artwork that goes along with, man. So platters, right? Look at that. That's all fruit, cheese, cucumbers, grapes, okra for my okra lovers, pickles,
okra,
raspberries, cherries, blueberries. Listen, she even teaches you how to create like the little is that what you call a flower?
Yes.
That with the is that a grapefruit?
That is a blood orange.
Oh, go ahead for the. You see how fancy he is? Oh, those are purple carrots, right? Aren't those the purple carrots on the side?
Yeah.
So listen, it's so much that you can definitely learn. And then when we got Sister Kim is about to come on, she got the wine to go along with all this stuff here. You just gonna be full and happy on both levels.
And she has great wine.
And talk to us about that partnership. Like, how did that come about? You and Kim coming together, and
it's actually really funny. When I first started all of this, I was like just kind of struggling on Instagram to kind of figure out what I was doing because everything was so new. And she sent me a message, but I never got it. And then one day she called me. It must have been like 3 months later. She was like, I tried to reach out to you and I just couldn't get a hold of you. I was like, how do we get a hold of this person? And I show up at the wine. I was like, look, I never got a message from you. And then what do you know? 2 months later, I see this crazy message that says, hey, it's Kim at Old Orleans. Call me. I'm like, darn. So thank you so much, Kim, for not giving up on me. And
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Person, if y'all don't know, this lady here has just kept encouraging me and just being like, don't stop what you're doing, carry on, bring me aboard. I'm like,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. And that's welcome. I mean, Black women helping Black women is what we want to see and hear. This is part of our culture, is who we are. And so let's welcome Kim Lewis, who is the founder of Old Orleans Wine and Spirits.
That's right.
Hey,
and only, right, Kim? The first and only Black-owned winery in Louisiana.
Y'all got me with my good wig on now.
Yes, it's a good wig. Yes.
You're the only winery or the only Black-owned?
I am the only Black-owned winery in the state of Louisiana and the only winery in the city of New Orleans.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing. So welcome, Kim. We have our bottle of wine right here.
I got to go get my bottle of wine, Kim.
I got that 504.
Yes, that's amazing. So listen, 504, Liz, I see you. So 504 is it's the locals' favorite. Everybody likes 504. 504 kind of highlights the culture of New Orleans, the Mardi Gras Indian and the Treme Brass Band. The day kind of gives you that nostalgia from, the early years here in New Orleans, which is pretty much the whole Old Orleans brand. It gives you that what used to be.
Yeah, let's talk about that because you have how many different wines and they're all give tribute to New Orleans, right? So we're talking about really honoring our culture. You really are honoring our culture.
Yeah, I have 15 wines, but I have 10 of them that are retail and 8 that are exclusive to the winery for wine clubbers and walk-in Saturdays. So we have a nice variety of wines. Some of them are not always available because it just depends on how fast somebody sell out. It depends on the season of that grape. It depends on how the stores are selling. It just depends.
Okay.
I got you. So they sell, you sell out often, right? I know last year we were talking just a little bit and you were just saying how like folks just cleaned you out. Like
it's, the support has been amazing, better than expected. I'm always selling out of something.
That's a blessing.
Always selling out. At one point, I have these shelves. Liz, are you familiar with those shelves on the wall that holds a lot of the art and pictures? And bowls and everything. So those shelves used to be full of wine. I mean, full of literally like at least 200 bottles of wine straight across all 3 shelves.
Wow.
Every time I load up, we sell out every single time. And so they keeps it sold out.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Marcia's asking, where can we get Kim's wine? Great question.
Tell them where they can get it, Kim.
Located. Go ahead and tell them where they can get the wine.
You can grab those wines at just about any of your big chain retailers. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it at Target. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it at Total Wine. You can get it at a lot of your small wine stores. You can get it at Zapardo's, Darnex, Langenstein's. You can get it at Martin's Wine Cellar. And in a month or so, you will be able to get it at Whole Foods and Sam's.
What? So, Whole Foods? Oh,
go Whole Foods! Go Whole Foods!
Yeah.
All my money.
If you're in the
and what? Oh yeah.
And if you're in Texas, you can get it at HEB. You're gonna be able to get it at WB and Specs.
Wow! Congratulations,
order
sis.
it online too. Like if they're not in Texas or New Orleans, can they order online?
We ship to 35 states.
Wow!
35 states. Yeah.
Congratulations. That is beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you.
And Olivia's asking, and in Texas. So can you just repeat the Texas again?
Texas, right now you can go to Target, you can go to Walmart, you can go to Total Wines. Next month, you can pick up from HEB, you can pick up from Specs, WB,
come on, sis,
and Whole Foods. And
come on, sis.
See, and when and your online, your website. What's your website?
OldOrleans.com.
And that's OLE Orleans.com. That's OLE. I'm just spelling it for the folks.
Yeah.
In case they, somewhere else in New York, somewhere, OLE Orleans.com.
Yes. Orleans and not Ole.
Girl, good night again.
Yeah, thank you, Marcia, for putting that up there. And you just started your business 2018?
I started in 2018, but we didn't turn into a full winery until actually April of last year. We were only supposed to be online, but the feedback was so good. We just went ahead and decided to go ahead and turn into a full winery because the feedback was just amazing.
Okay, wow. I got so many questions.
Me too. Hold on. Let me do mine.
Go ahead, Kyndra.
How did you even start?
Okay, that was one of my good.
Like before we go any further, because it's a lot of bougie. Yeah, she drinking hard, baby. She drinking real hard.
That's how I got started drinking my wine.
Listen, if y'all knew, this wine is so good.
Which one you drinking?
It's so hard to save this wine for tonight, and this is the last glass. I'm gonna have to go to Walmart or Target.
Which one is that, Liz?
That's the 504 that Stephanie has.
Oh, see, I got the Vauquerie and I got the white one. I only got a drop left.
Listen, the Vauquerie is the most dangerous wine we have. That bad boy is 14%.
My God.
Oh, wow. Look,
you
on this one.
Listen, you don't need help with that bottle. Trust me, you're gonna be all right.
It's gonna be all right. Just just to make it home.
So be all right.
How you guys started by drinking wine, and you just up and said, "Well, I'm gonna just start my own winery so I can drink more wine."
So no, it is. I traveled a lot. I used to go to different islands, different places, and I used to tour a lot. And I wanted to get out there and just kind of see what I was missing. I was going through a change in my life. And then I knew I was exiting the healthcare field soon. So I just wanted to do something a little different. It started off as a joke because when I mentioned it, I was like, these healthcare people driving me crazy. And I drank so much wine, I should own the doggone winery. And so it literally started off as a joke.
Wow.
But later on, I was like, you know what? That is not a bad idea.
I know that's right.
But immediately got discouraged because I'm like, I don't know nothing about this. And it seemed like a lot. These people want to charge so much. And I'm like, oh, this is going to drive me crazy, just like healthcare. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this. And eventually I'm like, you know what? I can do this. I start looking at videos. I start doing more research. Start getting a little help here and there. And before it was over, everything just kind of worked its way out. And I eventually started a wine company online. But when the pandemic hit, you know, everybody wanted to drink wine.
Yep.
And then we got to the point to where people not only wanted to drink at home, they wanted to visit and do tastings. And I'm like, wait, they want to come here? Okay, this is a different kind of support. And so we got to that point, and listen, the reservations, we did a soft opening in September. We did another soft in October because we thought we were going to be able to do a grand in October, but the COVID thing was still going on. So we did another soft in October, and it was packed.
Wow.
And we had reservations booked from last October. We had reservations still from last October all the summer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so we have really made our mark with All Orleans.
Wow.
So how did you get? I mean, okay, so you start off online, you have this passion for wine, you love wine, you're like, I could do it, then you didn't, but then you did.
Mm-hmm.
And then you know, feedback kind of got you into the tastings, but how did you get it to all these stores? Like, were they just receptive, or were you just like this person who just doesn't give up?
Girl, I'm a hustler.
I'm a hustler, baby.
You know, I like to tell people the first, I just split story to my kids. Well, giving an example, the first few doors were closed in my face. I don't know how many times I applied to Walmart and they told me no. I must have applied to Walmart so many times, but you know, I kept telling them, what did you think could have happened if I would have believed all of those no's?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was giving them an example, trying to teach them a lesson about something, about giving up. I was like, if I would have believed all those no's that Walmart told me, we would not be in all those chain stores. I was like, that's the first step. And Walmart was the first chain store we actually got into. And so it's so important. You know, out there, and I'm a teacher. Well, was a teacher up until a week ago. So teacher of 7 years. And, you know, I would.
Educators.
Yeah. I know, right? I would get up. I would hit a store on the way to work. Take my planning time. Hit maybe 2 or 3 stores on my planning time. Get my little lunch break, hit another store on my lunch break, come back, get off, hit 2 or 3 more stores, go get my children back. A few more stores. So I really hit the stores, the ground, whatever you want to call it. I hit it all. I hit it all, and I got out there and I made it work. And a lot of times people don't understand, even though you get into the stores, you still can't stop, because even though your product is authorized, you still have to sell it into the stores. So it doesn't stop there. I can have authorizations out of this world, but I still have to sell it into the stores. And so it's still a lot of work. It's still a lot of me networking and calling and building those relationships and making sure I get out there to talk to people, let them know who I am. Doing like this, podcasts, videos, sign-ins. Whatever you can think of, I get out there, I merchandise my own product. My kids, my schedule now, we drop them off at school. I'll stop at a store, see how the product look on the shelf, dust it off, fix the neckers, the labels messed up, I'll change the label. It's part of work.
It's interesting you say that, because when you put on social media that it was at Target, I went right away. I think you posted it like, I don't know, on a Friday. I went on a Friday. I was just like, oh, is that Target? I'm going to Target. But when I got to Target, I was like, where's the wine? And the guy was just saying, oh, it's probably hasn't. He said, when did it come out? I said, well, they posted it today. He said, oh, well, it takes a few days for us to
put it out,
right? And I was just like, well, I'm gonna keep coming back and keep calling until y'all do. And so I went back like a week later, and I would call. I'm like, hey, y'all got that Old Orleans wine yet?
We got it.
And then finally, when I went back like a week or two later, they had finally put it out. And then I think it was, in line with maybe, I don't know, Black Lives Matter. Something had happened that I think people were just like,
that's something.
So I hear you, because I was like, well, where the wine?
Yeah, everybody wants to. So, when every store is different, they put their stock out at different times. Some put them out immediately, some put it out a week later, some put it out on a set or in cap. It just depends. You never know. That part we don't have control over. But what we do have control over is knowing we sold it to that store and it's going to be there.
Yeah.
But how that store manager chooses to put it out, we never have that control.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
So before we go any further, we got a couple of comments, and then Marcia was just like, as a career counselor, she was feeling your story, as being a hustler and just getting on that ground and running. Yeah. We got Nubian, who said you should reach out to Philip Ashley Chocolates. He's a chocolatier guy in Memphis. She said he does virtual wine chocolate tastings and highlight Black distilleries and wineries. So that's another plug for you outside of the city of New Orleans. And our time is like running, like we got like 6 minutes, right?
I got 9 minutes. Where you get 6?
I got 8:52, my baby.
Okay, I got 8. Okay, 8 minutes. All right.
Okay. So before we go any further, I need to make sure that the people know where they can find you, right? So like Liz, but the Graze Dat, spell it, because we here in New Orleans, so we spell things a little differently. It ain't THAT. So I need the people. I want y'all to plug right now where they can find the both of you, because this is amazing. And on top of that, you also have another Graze and Sip coming up next weekend.
Yes,
that's highlighting both you and Kim. And so if you haven't seen her amazing facility, it's beautiful. I mean, the little big kegs thing. I mean, listen, go. You should just go. Right. But plug yourself, Liz. Come on, Choto. Plug yourself.
I had to write it down because the wine. Okay.
My God.
You can find me at Graze Dat, GrazeDat, and I'm both on Facebook and Instagram. Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Apparently, because I forgot it's on LinkedIn as well.
And for Old Orleans, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, shoots TikTok, and all of the names are Old Orleans, OLEORLEANS.
Yes,
that's right. And you heard it from both of them where you can find the product. So I have not dug into this yet, but I plan on doing it this weekend. My God. And I will definitely do a solid. We was tipsy at the last Graze and Sip.
Let me tell you, don't make any plans if you're going to drink that to yourself.
Don't make any plans. Okay. Have you some water. Get comfortable. Don't.
I'll leave
it off your calendar. I'm coming, feeling real good.
We all come to Liz's house and sit out in the back porch on the table and drink this right here.
And eat charcuteries.
Get the charcuterie board ready.
I went out to a club here and they had Old Orleans, and I ordered my own product. And let me just tell you that I didn't have to order anything else. And it was that.
Okay. Yes.
Right?
That.
Sometimes you just got to go out and taste your own product.
Uh-huh.
Your own ish, right?
And remind yourself how good it is.
That is definitely the one, though.
So look, Kim, I used to live in Southern California, and I used to go wine tasting everywhere in California. So, Temecula Valley, Solvang, Central Coast, up in Napa. Your wine is good.
Thank you. And that is something that a lot of people do not expect from a Louisiana winery. So I appreciate that, Liz.
I really wasn't expecting it. And let's just say I've drank a lot of wine. But I'm not just today, but in my other lives as teachers and whatnot. But this wine is really good. Like,
Yeah.
Thank you.
if people don't know, now you know.
I appreciate that. And, our goal is to take it all the way over to Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida,
Yeah.
Alabama. My goal is the South and the Southeast.
Oh,
That's
that's
right.
amazing. The South and the Southeast. Our producer is asking, what do you recommend for Pinot Noir lovers?
Pinot Noir. We have a Pinot Noir.
Come on through.
Yeah.
It's
What's the name of it?
And so it's called The Point, and that will be released around Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow.
The Point.
Yes, it's part of a three bottle collection that's coming out.
Oh.
Sis, you are
Constantly
doing it.
innovating. See, both of them constantly innovate, just not staying, because you could easily just have a nice little line and be like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, wait, but y'all haven't asked about the distillery.
Oh, that's right. And Wayne said we can go over a little bit.
Look at here.
Yeah, we have a distillery coming into place. It'll be here by somewhere. I can't give the exact date. It'll be here in the fall. We will be producing premium spirits.
All kinds, like
Vodka,
vodka, rum,
Mhm.
any
Ooh,
bourbon.
you changing the game, sister.
We're definitely going to do a Louisiana bourbon.
Okay.
Yes, we have
Okay.
gin. We're going to have a full layout.
Okay.
You need to get a bed and breakfast, because I think people just gonna be just out.
Just out.
Just out.
Don't
Just
speak
out.
it into existence for me now.
I'm just saying, right next to it, just buy the building next to it and just be like, you know what? Old Orleans Hotel, bed and breakfast.
Don't speak
just-
it into existence for me. I'm here
I'm
for
gonna
it.
put it out there. You
The
might just put
wine
it out there.
experience, or the spirits, the spiritual experience. What and Elizabeth,
Yes, ma'am.
when
She called your
Old
whole name.
Orleans does the bourbon, can you do a bourbon charcuterie box?
Listen,
Different
whoever-
flavors, right?
Listen, I am learning so much about cheese that I probably could find you a vegan cheese made with bourbon.
My God.
That's what I'm talking about.
Listen, sis, Stephanie started licking her lips when she said, "Can you please?"
I'm serious. I'm serious about the bourbon. I love the wine, but you bring bourbon in. I'm serious. Somebody said with Girl Scout cookies.
Lizette Randolph, what is happening over here? Listen,
People getting excited. If y'all have questions, we are going to be wrapping up. But if you have questions, please put it in the chat so we can ask these two beautiful powerhouses. If you have any questions for Elizabeth Choto at Graze Dat Charcuterie, put that in the chat, as well as for Kim Lewis with Old Orleans. Please put it in the chat. Wow.
You got the people excited about this bourbon, Kim. I'm telling you, they don't know what to do with their life right now.
All I can say is stay tuned, and this will not go into distribution right away. We are going to run this completely out of the distillery for the first year. So it's available. You will definitely have to get it while it's available.
Kim, I also don't know if you're aware of the brewery. I always forget the name of the brewery. It's in, I think, Ohio. That has it has a hotel that's attached to the brew house, and so they run lines into every room, so you can actually, when you check in, you pay for what you're going to drink, or you pay when you come, and you get everything that's coming from the brewery.
Oh my gosh,
that's going with that hotel. I'm telling you, that bed and breakfast. Sis,
Do we need to go to Ohio and check this place out?
Oh,
girls trip.
Girls trip.
I'm just saying, my cousin's getting married in September, so if I don't come back for a few days,
oh my goodness,
she's coming.
Check on me.
Amazing. Now you're gonna have me looking this place up.
Doghouse
in Ohio.
I think it's Brew Dog. Yeah.
Brew Dog.
They run taps of beer into your room, so you can order beer in your room, and they actually have okay, this might not apply to all of you, but they do have a seat where you can take a shower in beer, which I know sounds like really gross to most people, but to me, I'd be like the hops, like
beer.
100%.
A wine bath and a beer shower. I mean, and the wine bath will have nice little beds in it with some flowers. I mean, somebody Nubia said, I'm booking tonight.
Oh boy.
I'm writing this down.
Kim like, this is y'all playing, but I'm
oh my God.
Y'all
are so funny, but so for real. Liz, you got so excited, sis. You was like, call me the hops. I was like,
listen, but you know from the brewery tour that hops are actually, they were used as medicine. So they're actually good for your skin. That beer soap that has hops in them is actually really good for your skin.
Definitely. And we got Melanie that I don't know if Melanie's been here, but Melanie is the cocktail curator out of LA. And she's been talking about wanting to come to New Orleans and doing some sort of partnership. These are the two people to get with, because now Kim is adding spirits to the game. What?
Good. Yes. What? Melanie, we got to get you in so you can meet, like get it together. So we're going to have to bring Kim and Melanie back so we can talk about the wine and the cocktails and the bourbon.
You're right. And so let me tell you, also on Wednesdays and Saturdays, I make the best sangria ever.
What?
A red and white sangria. And so much so people have been asking me to bottle it. So before the year, look,
what time?
2 to 7.
What time we meeting up?
2 to 7.
2 to 7.
We're gonna meet for 5? Can we meet? I gotta
meet from 2 to 7.
I can be from 2 to 7. 2 to 7.
I gotta be trying there for 5, bro. Send me a drink. Liz, bring the cheese.
Bring the vegan cheese. And so, okay, y'all, I'm so excited. This is just making my heart happy. And Kim and both Kim and Liz, what I love about the two of you, y'all both open up yourselves to partner with people and just figure out how to make it work. You're not like selfish with the thing.
Because how else do you
wanted to know? If you used to bartend at Glam Slam and Mini.
Did you used to bartend, Kim? Oh, that's not that Kim, Melanie.
Kim, like, no, I had a whole health. Was it healthcare?
Yeah, I come from the healthcare industry, and I've been a teacher for the past 7 years and own mental health clinics.
But then decided that because she loved wine, she gonna start a wine business.
Oh yeah, I gave it all up.
Everywhere, Walmart, Target, Total Wine, about to come to Whole Foods. I'm so happy. I can go to Whole Foods. Y'all just don't understand.
Yeah.
Y'all don't understand. Liz, can we get charcuterie Graze Dat boxes in Whole Foods too? I don't know. Y'all just don't understand. I'm about to get my whole life.
Baby, speak it.
We speaking it. We gonna just say that thing.
Let me tell you a secret. LinkedIn is very powerful.
Okay.
All of my deals came from LinkedIn.
Wow.
I hit the street going to the stores, but the real power is in LinkedIn.
Really?
Yeah, because that's what all your corporate people are, all the buyers for the stores nationally. And they will follow and they will comment and they will take interest. So even though I was hitting the ground, the real power came from LinkedIn.
And did you just advertise through LinkedIn, like post stuff, or did you like go and search and reach out?
Excellent. I'm on LinkedIn all week. I am promoting, I'm advertising, I'm marketing, I'm putting pieces there for people to comment. I know how to market. I've never been to school for marketing. I went to school for psychology, which is
marketing, by the way.
Which is marketing.
Which is marketing.
You just have to know how to lay out your content, and and that's what I do, and it works.
That's amazing.
Wow, it works.
Wayne said that the black churches need wine.
Yes, if that is, I would go.
I mean, and what better way than to get 504? If you in New Orleans and you a black church, you need to just come get this red wine.
Oh,
the 504.
Come on now, come on.
I'd say that if
have
I'm
it
in
in your church. Because you're celebrating New Orleans culture, you're celebrating a black woman. I'm
Mama,
just
I
saying.
don't support this, Mama. It's not me.
We in the Lord are good. Because they have the wine, Kim.
Mama, I have nothing to do with this. I'm sorry.
Y'all stop because we don't want her mama coming for her later on. So we done.
I don't have nothing to do with this.
We is not.
But you ain't gonna say no if they call you, huh?
My God. No, don't comment. Don't comment. Just blink your eyes.
Look, I ain't got nothing to say.
Man, so funny.
Oh my gosh, this is
wasn't
so.
kidding though. If the churches did have wine, I would go.
Look,
They
some
do
of them
have
do, but
wine.
some of them do. So I'm gonna say the ones that do, though.
They do have real wine,
Some
especially
of them
Catholic
do.
churches.
It's not
Catholic churches have real wine.
It ain't like this. It's not like this one.
That's
No, it
what
ain't
we
like
saying.
that.
We telling them to upgrade.
I would go
Listen,
all day,
look.
every day, maybe with the cheese.
look. How they do in church? Look,
No communion crackers. I don't have them with cheese.
They said the tithes gonna grow. So the more wine you give the church, the more tithes the church gonna get. The priests might buy into that shit.
look at me. I ain't gonna participate in this conversation.
Okay, I'm gonna be quiet.
For those of us that have church, in alternate places and spaces, we will have the wine. So I'm just gonna say that.
Sure.
Tell the people about y'all. Liz, you doing something at Old Orleans coming up. Tell people
Next
about
week,
that.
Saturday, Friday.
Oh, yes. So I'm going to have a Graze and Sip. It's a charcuterie board building workshop. And I will walk people through like different bits of meats and cheese and how to style them, as well as some of the history of some of those foods, like and just some interesting facts about those foods. So for instance, this last workshop, we talked about carrots a lot and how a lot of people don't know that the original carrots were purple in color and they were bred to be orange because somebody liked the color orange for some reason. But those purple carrots are really sweet and we tried them and then we played around with like a couple different figs. We talked about figs and their relationship with wasps, which is very interesting. And I like that biology bit too. So we'll be jumping into food and food science and some of the biology behind all the things that we use.
What's the address? What's the address of Old Orleans, Kim?
It's 1232 Aretha Castle Haley Boulevard, New Orleans, Louisiana, 70113. We are a block from the New Orleans Jazz Museum.
Market.
Jazz Market. I'm sorry. I said museum.
New Orleans Jazz Market.
Also a block from Southern Food Museum too. So if you're not familiar with the Jazz Market and you're more familiar with the Southern Food Museum, Southern Food and Beverage Museum, please, it is a quick little walk down the block, I'm telling you, and you will not be disappointed. I think Melanie left us to go to LinkedIn because I think she just soaked up everything that you said about LinkedIn. And so she got quiet.
Real quiet, real quick.
Because LinkedIn is power. Listen to me. The head of Target and Walmart is in my DMs.
Dang.
That's cool. And the store managers from Texas at Target are in my DMs. Like distributors in my DMs. I got a business deal in my DM someone trying to buy Old Orleans, one of the big corporations from LinkedIn.
They can't do that now. They can't do that now.
Nobody can represent Old Orleans like us. So
wow. But that's a huge compliment and this is how you can really know, like if you have quote unquote arrived, is when they try to buy it from you. And that's a huge compliment. So congrats, sis, on that.
Congrats.
That's
amazing. Congrats.
That's amazing.
Thank you. We working on it.
Like, we'll take your advertising dollars. We'll take, but
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, it really is. A lot of people don't realize it, but LinkedIn really can take you far. You just have to know who to follow and how to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
You said a mouthful right there. You said a mouthful.
You
sell
really did.
to big time retail chains, you follow the retail chains, you follow the CEOs. If you sell deodorant, you follow the buyers for deodorant. If you're selling wine, you follow the buyers of the wine department. If you're selling tissue paper, you follow,
Come on, sis.
Those are the people you follow. Stop. I always tell people, don't waste your time following people. They're celebrities. No, you follow the people that you can get valuable information from, or that you can build relationships with to the next level. My LinkedIn is strictly used for business.
That's amazing.
I don't follow nobody that's a celebrity or nobody or a keeper. If you go through my LinkedIn friends list, buyers, CEOs, people who are willing to take Old Orleans to their next level. Distributors. I follow people to be noticed with my brand, not personally, but with my brand. Not show off or the post, the trendy stuff. I don't do that. So that's what my stuff is for.
That is totally a word. I mean, because I haven't really done. I used to do LinkedIn when I was working at the university because that was the business space, right?
Yeah.
And I've kind of gotten off of it a little bit. But you said a word, and the biggest thing I heard was that not only follow the people who make the decisions, follow the people who can help elevate. It ain't about following just every time, especially these celebrities. Like, I'm very strategic about any celebrity I follow because I'm looking, there's a plan there, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this idea of like, that you follow all these celebrities that they are established.
Yeah, they ain't gonna follow you back.
Let me
follow you back.
Let me give you an example of how my Walmart deal went, right? I applied, like I told you guys, probably up to 6 times. Did get in, wasn't worried about it. I was like, all right, I'll start from the ground somewhere else, get in some other ones. Then I get a inbox that says, hey, Kim, do you want your wines in Walmart? Look at me. Now, who is this playing with me? Because these people done told me 6 times no. And I'm like, yeah, I do. Who are you?
As you said.
Like, I ain't gonna say who are you first. I'll be like,
such
and now who are you?
Over the division of wine for Walmart. Look at me. I'm clicking our profile. Let me see.
That's right.
And I saw they were from Arkansas, where the corporate office is. I said, oh, okay. And so I clicked it, and she was like, we want to have your wines. I was like, okay. She was like, usually you can send in, but we're going to have the team. We're going to fly in. Walmart flew in and came to my winery. They came there.
That's what
I was like, oh, this is a good welcome. Not only from there, they turned it on while they were there immediately. I said,
wow.
That's a blunt. Yo, that's amazing.
Listen, and that went from applying to them through their protocols 6 times, bugging the store managers, to marketing myself on LinkedIn.
Wow.
Not saying no. For not accepting the no as no. You like, I got 6 no's, did not accept that as the final no.
Somebody gonna give me a yes.
Refocus your LinkedIn to really like follow the right people. And then divine timing, they came to you.
And everything else happened like that right after. You just keep going.
So listen, I hope that both of these stories, these women, these amazing powerhouses today have encouraged you. If you have a vision, if you have a dream, if something is burning in your belly, like, go do it. Sis said she got said no 6 times and they came to her. That's 7, the number 7 is completion, huh?
It's true.
So that 7th hit, it was all for you. And so y'all, check it out. Go to Graze Dat, GRAZED as in dog, AT, Graze Dat at Facebook, at Instagram. Follow that. And then y'all already know we not doing old Orleans. We doing old OLE Orleans ORLEANS. And if you in the city and if you gotta taste both charcuterie and the wine, Graze Sip is for you next week Friday at 12:32.
It's at 6.
Yeah.
12:32 Aretha Castillo at 6 p.m.
That's 6 p.m.
That's right. Y'all, check it out. This has been, we got to wrap up, y'all. It's 9:16. We way over. We thank you, Brother Wayne.
Fun.
Thank you, Wayne.
Come by tomorrow. Come do Walking Wednesday in my sangria.
Oh, we coming through.
We're coming to taste the sangria. You don't have to tell us twice.
And then also, I'm going to say this online, sis. We're going to come back and we're going to sample. So each of us are going to have a different wine, and we're going to talk about your wine on all that and more, along with Liz and some goat cheese and some pink pineapple and some purple carrots and some chicken, and have all that, because we don't give that the chicken to Stephanie here. Give the chicken to me.
Okay.
All right.
I will get all the fruits and veggies though.
So listen, y'all, we give thanks to y'all. Y'all have been amazing. Was Liz's social? Social is GRAZE. That's one word, Graze. And the second word is that. D as in dog, AT. So Graze Dat.
She's wearing the shirt.
She's wearing the shirt. Move your weave. Move your weave.
It's not a weave.
Move your weave. Move your wig.
It's not a
Graze
weave.
Dat.
I ain't got no weave.
Doesn't have hers on. Sorry.
She said she got it. And then we got Old Orleans. That's OLEORLEANS for my people who are not from this city. And so we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We're gonna get this date going for this this tasting and the charcuterie board, so you can actually see it in person. And we love y'all.
Yes. And this is your favorite girl, Kyndra Joy.
Favorite girl, Kyndra Joy right here. And then you got the intuitive consultant right over there in that corner, Dr. Stephanie Burns, with the favorite show right here. All that more. Big ups to Vigilance Rising Productions for having us once a month. We appreciate you. This is what we do, y'all. Get your wine.
Drink some wine.
Come on,
thanks, guys.
Chillin', come on and shine with me. Come on, I'm not chillin'. Why don't you shine with me? Come on, Gala sisters, why don't you teach with me? Come on, Gala Mara, why don't you pray with me? Come on, Gala Father, why don't you stay with me? Come on, Gala brother, why don't you dance with me? Pray with me, walk with me, talk with me, sing with me, work with me, grind with me, shine with me, talk to me, pray with me.